What's up, everyone out there? Welcome back to the Phantoms Fanatic YouTube channel. I am back with another review, and this week's review is of Uncharted, released this year in 2022, starring Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg, Zoe Taylor Ali, and Antonio Banderas. So obviously, this movie is an adaptation by the long-running PlayStation Sony game Uncharted. And let me just get out of the, state. I know nothing about this franchise. I'm gonna be honest. I've never played an Uncharted game. I have had friends who played them and who have said they're really good. Now, of course, I don't know how accurate to the game this movie actually is. And for the people who are fans of the games, I get it. If you'd like it, good for you. If it's similar to the games, that's also good. I don't know, though, because I never played the fucking games. No offense to anybody who loves the games. They're probably really good games. I just have never played them. So, this film was so painfully just fucking average. There is literally nothing in this film that I could not predict. Let me get the good parts out of the way. I think Tom Holland is good in this. He's good in this. Mark Wahlberg is entertaining in this. All the other actors, I think, are doing a fine job, but their characters are not written the best. And even Antonio Banderas, who's a very good fucking actor, is just kind of sidelined, and I was like, okay, well, I really don't give a shit for this Indiana Jones type plot. They literally do the fucking, the plane thing across the map. Anyways, Mark Wahlberg as Victor Sullivan and Tom Holland as Nathan Drake, I honestly think work well off of each other, and it's also very refreshing to see Tom Holland play a character who's his actual age. Which I was like, yeah, good for you, movie. That was surprising for me. And there was enough comedy with those two characters that, that genuinely made me laugh. And I was like, okay, well, this is pretty, those two characters working off of each other and those two actors working off of each other, I'm like, okay, decent start. I don't think that's a bad start for the film. And, the basic plot of this, if I had to give it, is just the most generic fucking plot. So, it's Tom Holland, Nathan Drake, I don't know if this is accurate to the fucking games at all, is approached by Victor Sullivan, who is a former friend of his brother's, who they were, thieves together, and, they want to get this fucking treasure map, and he needs Nathan Drake's help to get the keys to solve the riddles, Indiana Jones National Treasure type shit. So, and I will say the action, I think, is pretty decent. I don't think it's necessarily bad in any scenes, but some of it was just very CG, and a lot of it was it broke my extent of realism sometimes, how certain characters would survive, dropping into the water from super high up. I'm like, no, that's not how that fucking works. And the whole climax, I get, is supposed to be a ridiculous idea, and the climax I like the basic idea of, and, there's some movie tropes, there's a cannon, and there's, 1500-year-old gunpowder that magically lights, and I'm like, okay, it doesn't bother me that much, but I was like, okay, the climax is pretty decent, but the action also feels a bit choppy and muddled, and the effects, I think, are not the best. I think they're decent for what I give them. Most of it is CG, even though I think, the parkour stuff with the chase scenes, I think, is practical, and I think that's handled very well. And let me get into the bad things. This movie, I wouldn't say is bad. It's just so painfully average. Sure, when Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland are on our screen, they're actors who can have good charisma and work well off of each other with these characters, and I think that honestly works with the writing between them. But then you get Chloe Perez, the character played by Sophia Taylor Ali, who's a love interest for Tom Holland, and it's like, okay, that's fine, and like that was the one thing that the direction that they went with that character and her relationship to Tom Holland, I was kind of surprised by. That was the only fucking thing I was surprised by. Because it opens, like, in the middle of a set piece, cuts 15 years back, shows these kids fucking hanging out. I'm like, god damn, I knew exactly where the fuck this was gonna go the immediate moment that I saw it. And it's like, I don't mind films using these cliches as long as they use it well. I don't think they use it very well in this movie. And it's like, it just reminded me of National Treasure without Nicolas Cage, or Indiana Jones, but without half the character stuff and the stuff that I enjoyed from those movies. And it's just like, there's no plot beat that surprised me of where it's going, except that one with Sophia Tyler Ali's love interest thing with Tom Holland's character. That I was genuinely surprised by. But, like, there's just, like, these things that just build up, and then I'm like, okay, it's going this direction, then when the movie ends, you see, like, this reveal, and I'm like, okay, and then there's this end credit scene that has something to do with the fucking necklace he has, because his brother is important, because his brother left him clues to solve the thing, and that's immediately what I figured out, is what those fucking notes he leaves him is what they are for. It's to fucking solve the riddle. Sorry, I got over dramatic there. But it's like, this movie just falls under the plot of just being a generic action-adventure movie. And, like, there's even a moment where there's a pirate ship in a cave, like Goonies, and, like, I'm pretty sure Tom Holland or Mark Wahlberg, like, jumps down, and I'm like, hey, you guys! And I was like, I would so much rather be watching fucking Goonies than this. I would prefer watching Goonies than this. Like, as I said, the actors have charisma and there's decent amount of action scenes. It's relatively entertaining, but it's like, there's just like a twist with the villains, and I'm like, okay, well, this is nothing new. It's just kind of boring because I didn't really care about that one fucking guy. And it's like, there's a scene where somebody literally gets their throat slit, and it's just literally a line of blood, and I'm like, he just got a hard paper cut. That wouldn't fucking kill him. And I get it, it's PG-13, but even other PG-13 movie films, they just shut and then fall to the ground. If you show us the amount of blood, I'm gonna be like, well, that doesn't look like it would fucking kill him. It doesn't. And it's like, just the thing where it's like, oh, here's a clue for my brother, we gotta go here, oh, we gotta go here, Indiana Jones transition. It's like, we gotta solve the riddles, National Treasure, without Nicolas Cage, so it's not like I give a fuck. And it's like, I don't think this movie is bad. It's just so painfully generic and average that it's like, it's just a boring action-adventure movie. Like, sure, I found some moments between Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg entertaining, but there was nothing that surprised me. I knew exactly what was gonna happen. There was pretty much no stakes whatsoever. I didn't feel scared for the characters, whatever, especially when the laws of physics are fucking broken. And, like, even most of the comedy I think works, but then there's just some of it that just lands and does not. And, to be honest, I don't think this film is, I don't know if this film is gonna get a sequel or not, but I honestly don't think it's very good. As I said, Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland have decent chemistry, and there's a decent amount of, funny jokes with them, but then it's also like, oh, Mark Wahlberg is older, so he's like, ooh, phone stuff, I don't know how fucking phone stuff works, and I fucking hate that trope more than anything. And these actors clearly have charisma, but the plot is so generic that I can guess where everything is going. It's just finding pointless clue after pointless clue, and then, something my brother left behind. It's just like, oh, yep, it's definitely gonna lead to a treasure. It's not a fake out or anything like that. So yeah, I don't know if I can recommend this movie. As I said, there are entertaining moments, and I don't know if you're a fan of the games, maybe you'll enjoy this. As I said, I don't know how accurate to the games this is, because I didn't play the games. But taking that into account, if you want to see a Uncharted movie, you just want to see an action adventure movie with Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg with some decent charisma and comedy, I'm like, okay, go see it. But I honestly think that this is just run-of-the-mill action adventure movie with some decent actors in it. That's literally all I can say about it. So, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe down below. Please share your thoughts about the movie. I always enjoy to see that. And yeah, like and subscribe down below. And wait, huh? My dead brother. He left me this clue. It says, to find my most worldly possessions, go to your favorite soft drinks profession. Where the X is marked, a clue will find. The soft drink is where the treasure resides. I think I know where I need to go for this. So as he said, the clue to his box, there's an X on this soft drink. A&W. That means the A&W root beer factory. He also left me this box. There's a keyhole attached to it. There must be some great treasures lurking beneath this. Inside this, I will devote my life to figuring out what is in here, getting the key, and getting what is rightfully deserved to be mine. I will search this down forever! But clearly that's the first clue. There's probably a lot more along the way, brother. And I will definitely figure this out no matter how long it takes me. Well, after searching for 50 years, I came to the realization, brother, that, when you meant X marks the spot, you didn't mean the A&W root beer factory. I forgot, even though I own this thing, that, there's an X there, and that this opens. And yep. Key's right here. I can open the box now. I can see what great fortune you've left me. What I've wasted the last 50 years of my life to achieve. So let's see what wondrous things you left me, brother, in this box. Where did I put the key? There the key is. There's nothing in here but... Ow, son of a bitch. There's nothing in here but porno mags. You did say your world's most prized possessions would be here. It's a funny one, brother. Yeah, definitely a funny one. You son of a bitch! I wasted me life. I always had me hair to fall back on, but now that's gone. Me vision's blurry. I'm fat. And you left me with nothing but a porno mag. For the past 50 years. Wasted my life trying to find that key. So many things I missed out on. All for a cruel joke. I guess things aren't really like what they think are in the movies.